I am Anne Hyde, Duchess of York, the wife of James, Duke of York, the man who would become King James II of England. Though I was long gone by the time he ascended the throne in 1685, my shadow lingered on the tapestry of his reign, for mine is a story of ambition, love, and sacrifice. Allow me to take you back to my world, a time of grand change and greater turmoil. I was born into privilege in 1637, the daughter of Edward Hyde, later the Earl of Clarendon, a loyal servant of King Charles I and Charles II. My youth was shaped by the perils of civil war and restoration, the fragility of power ever present. I grew into a woman of keen mind, sharp wit, and resolve. My station allowed me to accompany Princess Mary to the Netherlands, where fate intervened, and I met James, the brother of King Charles II, a prince. James. His presence was magnetic, his rank unattainable, and yet our hearts defied the boundaries of expectation. We loved fiercely, perhaps recklessly. When I fell with child, there was no alternative but marriage. And so, the noble Hyde and the royal Stuart were bound in union, a union scorned and whispered about. I was deemed unworthy of a prince, my father accused of scheming for power, yet I held my head high. I was no queen, but I stood beside James through his tribulations and triumphs alike. By 1685, James sat upon the throne of England as King James II. I was not there to see his coronation, for death had taken me far too early in 1671. Yet my spirit lived on, immortalized in our children and the forces I had helped set in motion. My daughters, Mary and Anne, were figures of critical importance. Mary, married to William of Orange, would later play a decisive role in her father's fate. And my younger daughter was beloved by the English, but torn by loyalty and conscience in the years that followed. Though my own story ended before James's reign began, I shaped the course of history through my influence. I was the one who brought James further into the Catholic fold, the religion I embraced fervently before my death. It was our Catholicism, so reviled in Protestant England, that defined the years of James's rule, and the seeds of his eventual downfall were sown in my lifetime. James' conversion, which I had quietly encouraged, alienated much of England's ruling class. The memories of my devotion haunted him even after I was gone, for in me he found not just a wife, but a confidant, an ally in faith, and a mirror to his deepest convictions. I had faced scorn and ridicule for my perceived ambition and my family's rise, and so would he on a far grander scale. I often wonder, had I lived longer, would I have tempered his resolve? Would I have smoothed the rifts between the crown and the people? Or would my unyielding spirit have pushed him further still? And yet, I do not regret my path. I was born to serve, to love, and to rise above expectations. Though history remembers me as the commoner who dared marry a prince, I was much more. I was Anne Hyde, the steadfast heart at the center of a royal storm. And my story, though brief, echoes through the ages in my daughters, in my legacy, and in the turning tide of English history that followed. In life, I was not crowned a queen. In death, my legacy crowned me a woman of consequence. And perhaps that is enough.